So hopefully everybody's followed along and have got to the point to where we've drawn the wings here. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the landing gear. We're going to do the main gear today. We can draw this nose gear as well if you're going to like print the bearing blocks or whatever. But let's see how these mount. And it looks like they're just mounted between these two ribs here, and there is a doubler here on the ribs. I kind of think it would probably be best if there was a doubler that went all the way to the front or all the way to the back and then up to the spar and notched into the spar. Might make that a little bit stronger. And then this landing gear block, which can also be some 1/8" plywood stacked, could notch into those plywood pieces on both sides, and that would make it good enough for most smooth landings. And it looks like it is in the second open bay where it is, and I'm not going to measure too much the back here, yeah, because I think kind of leaving this right here is going to, or this plywood cut off short right here, is going to leave a lot of pressure on these balsa ribs, because it's going to have some torsion coming back, and I think carrying that load all the way back to that trailing edge would probably be best. Let's just measure. I'm going to create a new component here, and then I'm going to measure how far back that those things start. So I'm going to call this main gear. So let's real quick, I'm just going to measure how far back this gear is from the back of the trailing, or the back of the spar here. I'm going to go right here to the center where the gear comes out, and let's be done with that. So if you notice, we can click this line and it'll give us the length right here, or you could go to inspect and measure this line by clicking on that line, and then it'll tell you that, yeah, it's down there. I thought it would select it there. Okay. But there we have it. We can see our measurement down there. So it's roughly an inch. It's probably an inch from the center of the shear webs. Which, did I put shear webs in this wing? No, we're going to have to do that too. But let's work on this landing gear. So I want to undo this sketch. I don't need this sketch here. All right. I want to create a sketch. We're going to be in this bay here, right? No, this bay right here, this second open bay. And I want to create a sketch on, let's do this. Let's create a sketch on that face. And we're going to measure back an inch. I wonder if I could grab this. Turn chain selection off. I'm going to move this back. I was at 0.941, which probably works out to, there we go. So that's kind of the center of where our gear is going to be. I'm going to turn that into a construction line. And now, since it's 1/8", I'm going to use 1/8" wire. 1/8" wire is probably good enough for this. Yeah, I think 5/32 is a little big. So what I want to do, just as a guide also, I'm going to draw a box. Forget that. I'm just going to do an offset line here. I'm probably going to need to get rid of this relationship first, because I want to create offsets off of this. So I'm going to go 0.0625 and do the same thing on this side. going to go negative 0.0625, and that gives us an 1/8 inch where our groove is going to be. So now, in fact, we can change this. No, that's fine. We're going to do that. And I want to project this line, and this line. I'm going to use those in this drawing, and come here. I'm going to do this line here. And my machine is running slow right now. Okay. Let's get rid of these relationships here. There we go. All right, now we can come in here and let's just make this. This can be whatever you want. I'm going to make them a 1/2 inch. That'll give us a little bit of room there, and then let's do the same thing on this side. So there's going to be the bottom. These should line up with that, and we could probably finish this sketch. And we'll go ahead and trim this back. Don't need all that extra stuff there. And I'm going to define this, because I keep preaching that we need to have things fully defined. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to come up here on top. Let's turn the canvases off. I don't need that. And I want to extrude these two pieces up 1/8 of an inch. And new body. That's exactly what we want. Now, let's create a sketch on top of this. And all I'm going to do is encompass all this. You could probably do an offset extrude. I think I'm going to try that. Let's go here. Let's turn this sketch on here. And I think what we can do, yeah, we can. All right, so this is kind of a good trick here. So we're going to start from object, and we're going to start on the top of this. That's the object we want to start. Now let's select our profiles. We've got those 3 profiles, should have 3 profiles selected. And then we're going to go negative 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, we need to select this other profile. Let's get it. There we go. Yeah, so just like that, and we're going to go new body. And now we have the 3 pieces that are going to make up our landing gear block. If you want to cut these out of solid maple, you're more than welcome to. But I find it easier to cut this out of hard ply. I usually use Baltic birch, and it's strong enough. So now we have our block. Let's go ahead and I'm going to create an offset of this to make our rib brace. And like I said, I'm not going to stop it here. I'm going to go ahead and carry it all the way to the back. So one way to do that, we can go to surface, and I'm going to create an offset of this pattern right there and leave it at 0, and that's good. And we can do the same thing over here on this rib. Okay, Now we have these two bodies, and what we're going to do, we're going to thicken them. So let's select that one. Come back around over here. Go to thicken. You could use 1/8 inch ply here, but since you're carrying that load further, you could probably get away with 1/16 ply, or 1.5 millimeters, or 3 millimeters for you people in the rest of the world. For some reason, the U.S. it's not like the rest of the world. I'm gonna go 1/16, but you're welcome to make this as thick as you want. And I'm gonna click OK. And yep, that's what we want right there. Let's go ahead and do it to the other side. Create our doubler. This is the one we want. Let's thicken. I'm going to repeat that same thing. And there we have it. Now we want to create this notch. Let's go to solid and go to combine. Click on that. We want our operation to be cut. Keep tools. We want to cut with that and that and that. Now one thing that's going to happen, it's going to tool bodies, here we go. It's only letting me select 2 tools at a time for some reason. That's okay. Oh, we wanted to keep those tools. We didn't want to get rid of them. That's no problem. We're going to go to Edit Feature and select Keep Tools. There we go. Now, let's come back to this combine again. We want to hit this. We want this to be our tool and select OK. And I messed up again. What did I do there? Oh, let's undo that. There we go. Combine. Nope, we want to cancel this. Got to hit the right thing. Combine this. We want to cut new tools. That's what we want, not new component. I actually created a new component a while ago. Oh man, what did I do? Okay, back to square one. Let's go here. We want keep tools, not new component, and we want to select our tools. Maybe it'll let me select all 3. Nope, it's not going to. That's fine. Let's come back here, and we want to select that one. Select OK. Let's do the other side. Combine here. Combine. Cut this tool and this tool. Select OK, and I think we've got this little extra body here. Let's turn these off. Yeah, see, there's this little tiny part. So we're going to remove that. That was just kind of left over there. Going to remove that one. So now we have our landing gear blocks and our plywood doublers. And let's just call these landing gear doublers. And this is our, we're going to call this our main landing gear block. We'll call these sub blocks. Okay, and we don't really need to carry it all the way up here. We can carry this thing up to, or these doublers up to where the spars are. So that's easy to fix. And what I'm going to do, I think what I will do, I need to trim these back. I wonder if I can get a mid-plane here. Nope, not like that. Let's see. Let's just create a sketch on that. We'll find a halfway point. And to create, we'll hit slice so we're looking right at it. Just to create something. We want that. Okay. There's our midpoint. And since we're going to put some shear webs in there, we need to move that back just a little bit. And I'm going to change this to a guideline. I didn't want to finish that sketch there, sorry. I'm going to change this to a guideline, hit X, and let's do an offset of 1/32. That's half, so we'll have 1/16 inch 1/16 inch shear web in there. So now let's come in here, we can finish our sketch. And we want to split body. We want to split this and this. And the tool we want to split with is that line that we drew right there. Hit OK. Now we can come here and remove. Come here and remove. There we go. So there you have it. We have our block and our landing gear doublers. Okay. All right. Let us now, we will do the wire itself. And to do that, let's go look at our canvas here. And see, I'm pretty sure it goes to the outside. Yeah, so it goes here this way and then comes down. So this is where it gets kind of fun. So we're going to have a hole here where that our rod's going to go, and then come all the way out to here, and our rod's going to come down. So what I want to do, I want to create a sketch. This is on that main block in between the two sub blocks. I'm going to create a sketch on that. I'm going to come in here, and this is, if you noticed, come back here, stop spinning around. If you notice, I get the center line that's between here, and I'm just going to come in here and make this 0.125. And let's make this tangent with that, but not to that point. I wanted it centered. And let's make it tangent here. There we go. So there's where our hole will be for the gear there. And let's do the same thing over here. We can actually mirror this, and I'll show you how. We'll just create a mirror line, and that looks like it right there. See, when we get the triangle, that's our center line. Let's hit that and hit escape. Wait a minute. There we go. Let's do that. I'm going to change this to a construction line. Now I'm going to mirror this hole with, nope, we don't want both of these selected. We want this selected and that selected, and now you can see we have the other hole there. And this hole is going to go up, and then this is where our rod's going to come down. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit fun. Let's see if we can finish this sketch. So now we have, and I'm guessing that this gear goes straight down. I don't really know. I don't have a good reference. Yeah, it does. So here's the axle where it comes down. So this gear is going straight down. So to do this, I'm just going to create an offset plane down to the depth, or down however, you know, the length of our landing gear, which it looks like it's going to be about right here. And let's just create an offset plane right there, and if you notice, it's going to be at the angle of the wing, but it's going straight down. Oh, my machine's running slow. Yeah, so it's going straight down this way. If you want it, and when we come in here and draw this axle, we can make it where it's perpendicular or parallel to the sides of the fuselage. So that's about the depth. We're going to say 3.5 inches. So here's where we are, and what I want to do, and we'll draw a sketch on this plane, and I want to project this point to that plane. So there's our point. Okay, and what I can do here, we can either draw another plane that runs up here to draw the line, or we can do this. I'm going to create a 3D sketch by selecting that. So now I'm going to select that point and this point right there. So there we have a line. I can finish that sketch. From the back, it's at an angle. We can change this angle by moving this point over. We can come back in and just draw another line. Let's go back and edit this sketch. Okay, and I'm going to just draw from that point. We want to be in line with that. Let's look here at the back. I'm just going to bring it down. Okay, finish sketch. So that's a little straighter right there, and it's going to intersect with this, with that plane that we drew. The only reason why we drew that plane is just to get a reference of where the axle's going to be. So now let's bring that plane back, and I'm going to go to, let's select it again. And we'll create another sketch on it, and intersect. Where did our other line go? Intersect. Well, our other line went away. Let's cancel this sketch. There's our line right there, which is what we want. All right, we're going to do this. We're just going to create a plane along path. Cancel that. Plane along path. This path right here. Turn the canvas off. I am not sure what this line is. Cancel this. Yeah, that line didn't go where we wanted it. All right, we're going to do this. I'm going to do plane at an angle. I'm going to select this path, 90 degrees, hit OK. Now I'm going to create a sketch on this plane. There's always a trick. And usually I like to run through, let's turn 3D sketch off. I like to run through running these things before I do it, and there we go. Okay, that is where our, we're going to go to our axle, and we want that to be 90 degrees, and whatever your tire width is going to be, let's say it's going to be 1 1/4. That gives you plenty of room. Okay, now we need to put some fillets in here as well. First, let's dimension this to that, and let's dimension that to that. So that's all nice and dimensioned. Come in here, put a fillet. Now you can check your radiuses or what they're supposed to be for different size wires. I'm gonna make this 0.25. Nope, it's got to be less than that. Let's make it 1/16 of an inch. That's pretty sharp. I would go look it up, but I don't want to. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, so now we need to do the same thing up here. So we have to draw a line from this center to this center over here. So I'm going to project this point, say okay, now let's draw a line from here to there, and we're going to have to put a radius on that of 0.7. Where's that 0.07? Yeah, that's way too big. 0.07. 0.07. There we go. And now we want to draw from that point up. From this point, we want it 0 degrees. Nope, it can't be 0 degrees. It's got to be, so it's perpendicular. Yeah, 5 degrees is it, because we have 5 degrees on the thing there. And let's come in here, and we're going to put a fillet in here. 0.06. Yeah, that'll probably work. Click OK. Now we have this as our guide for making our sweep for the landing gear. Now we'll come down here, and I'm going to create this plane along path. I want it on this part. I'm going to bring it all the way to the end. Go there. Let's turn canvases off. There we go. And we want to create a sketch on this plane. And we want to draw an 1/8 inch circle. 0.125. Okay. We're going to finish sketch. I'm going to come down here to create sweep. And it's asking for, we're going to go single path, profile. We want to select this as our profile. Our path is this. And then it's going to create this whole thing. Coming up to here, we can bring this back a little bit if we want to, because it doesn't need to be that long. Now another thing you could do is notch this thing. Now it's saying it's going to cut, and let's just create new body. Okay. We're going to say OK. Now I'm going to come in here to modify. We want to cut this, and we want this to be our tool body. We say OK, and you notice we need to notch this little piece right here, and you could really bring this up a little bit into here, and that's going to help with this little torsion part of the landing gear. Let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to cut with this. Say OK, and there you have it. Let's turn these sketches off. And I think we did that right. Yeah, this wire looks like I went halfway. I needed to bring it down a little bit, but that's not a problem. I think we can move that. Yeah, I should have made that offset of there just a hair. Bring this down a touch. There we go. In fact, I think we have to undo one of those, yeah, that combined. So I'm just going to go all the way back, do that. Now let's move this down. All right, there. Now we should be able to just drill our hole in this with the combine tool here with that. That looks good. Let's do something here. I want to offset this face. I want to make it a little bit taller, like so, so it catches that. Now let's turn that main block back on. Combine again with that. OK. Combine this with that. OK. So now you're going to have notches throughout. All right, and that is that's how we do that gear. And all we have to do now, we're going to call this left main gear. And what we want to do is we're going to mirror this whole thing, this component, mirror component, and we want to mirror this component. We want it along this face, and say OK. And there you have it, main landing gear, just like that. All right. I thank you all that are subscribing and enjoying the videos, and make sure if you're not subscribed to go ahead and subscribe, and if you have questions, just ask me. I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.